Welcome to the Deadman Spring Final Rerun 2019. We have a very exciting evening ahead of us and 256 players currently preparing to compete for the $32,000 prize pool. But before we get into all the action, let's take a look at the last final and see why we're here today.
The Deadman Spring Finals were held in March 2019. If you're unfamiliar with Deadman events, here's a breakdown. Firstly, there's a qualifying season in which anybody can compete. Once the season ends, we invite the top 2,000 to compete in the finals. This is a week-long event in which the players build up their accounts from scratch for an epic finish with $32,000 in prize money. The finals ends with our broadcast. We watch on as the top players battle it out whilst avoiding the lethal fog which is filling the map. The players are pushed into two separate final areas to fight a frantic battle for survival. The players who are left are teleported to a vast arena where they'll have to fight in a series of 1v1 rounds, leaving just the champion standing. There are lots of prizes up for grabs, with 16 players guaranteed to walk away with something. First place gets $20,000, second place gets $10,000, third and fourth get $1,000 each, and the rest of the top 16 get 1 year free membership. That's an introduction to Deadman. Now it's time to reflect on what happened during the spring finals. The tournament itself was as dramatic as ever, with teams Fools and Blazers holding down a pivotal point in the game, helping them to rise above their competition. As the finals were heating up, we saw huge teams clash in the two final areas, Anakarl and Falador. Falador was the first to see the survivors teleported to the 1v1 arenas, but unfortunately an error with the arena mapping led to a large number of these players being killed. We proceeded with the rest of the tournament, with the Anakarl survivors meeting the few lucky players from the Falador area. It still made for an intense finish, with Manked finishing as runner-up and Eomeri claiming victory for Fools, taking home the $20,000. We're committed to our players, and to make amends for the issue that killed a large number of our surviving players, we've decided to rerun the finals. The final 256 players from the spring finals have been re-invited to fight again for a share of $32,000.
Welcome back. I'm Nightinator and I'll be your host for this evening, and joining me for this event I have two phenomenal casters with a wealth of knowledge in PvP. One of these faces you'll be very familiar with. He has casted many a tournament and before, and he's going to bring in his knowledge today. It's Ian, aka Pure Spam.
Good day. Hello, everyone.
And alongside Ian, I also have the honour of introducing a brand new caster today. However, he has had lots to do with Deadman before. You've been in the Deadman mode mansions and you've been creating PvP content for Runescape for a long time. It is Rakesy.
How's it going, guys? It's an honour to be here.
I'm a massive Deadman mode nerd. I love PvP. I've got a lot of friends that play as well. And I think it's important as well that I've got the experience to talk about what's happened in the week. So last time round, we had a Fools and Blazers alliance, two of the big teams in Deadman mode. Quite rightfully, they actually, like you said before, locked down Shiloh Village Cave, which is a multi-combat area. Yeah. So anyone trying to get in was instantly annihilated. I was part of that force staying there.
Super smart.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week, pretty much a whole week's trip. It was 168 hours they had it locked down for. So not a single other opponent was able to actually finish Piety during that time. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. When we slept every night, went to bed, had the phone next to us on Discord with like alerts set. So they got to, there was an amber alert or an orange alert, or it was black alert. Get in, log in online right now. We're being hit. It was a lot of fun.
Absolutely. So we've got $32,000 on the line, and we have 193 players ready to get going. Between each round, they're going to be able to re-gear from their bank, and it's going to be a phenomenal show. So I'm going to hand over in just a moment to Rakesy and Ian, who are going to lead you through these rounds, cutting down these players. And once again, if you die, that's it. You're out. Your chance is over. So best of luck to everyone involved. And if we're ready, then we're going to go into round one.
Right, so jumping into it, we have Skill Specs himself. And I'm not too sure what he's changed up since last time, but he does have the Zuriel staff. And he's got an AGS.
He's got an AGS in his... Wait, hold up. Yeah, he's not went with the DH, sadly.
No,
a slight letdown, but the AGS is definitely making up for it. Oh, he went straight in for the spec.
Unfortunately, no way, putting the premium up straight off the bat. And both these guys right now, actually, Jay, another spec. That was off prayer, but hitting a 0, unfortunately, for him. No AGS 73 off the bat, unfortunately. No way, he's just a tank ranger. And look at his inventory compared to Jay's. Look how many brews he has to go through. Not only brews, but this guy's got 2 recalls on him as well, which does a little bit of damage too.
Yeah, there's a slight brew advantage on the rag tank there, I would say. Look at the black dragonhide shield. Oh my goodness. The Carol's Coif, 99 range. Let's just hope that Jay can actually pull off enough damage here, because I'm not going to lie, with the gear that he's got, losing to that matchup, I would be absolutely tilted out of my mind. Because, I mean, he's taken the risk with just taking the AGS instead of taking, like, more optimal melee gear. So considering that, this isn't a bad matchup for him to have. Unfortunately, I think he spec'd 3 times with the AGS, and I think the biggest spec he had was less than 20.
Yeah, I think so too. I think skill specs as well as that. He still has enough supplies. It looks like he's actually one brew extra than his opponent, so I think he's going to secure this one, utilizing the Blood Barrage as well while stepping under to get a bit more of that HP, because every hit point matters at the moment, but a 0 AGS there, and looks like No Way is actually out of supplies, and he's got no restores left, so his range is going to be really low, as after you drink a brew, your stats are drained as well. You've got to micromanage those brews and restores smart, and Skillspec's doing a fantastic job of that as well. Again, catching another free, stepping under, going for the AGS whack, I'm sure, in a second as well, and it looks like No Way is not going to be able to come back from this, with only 32 hit points left, getting hit constant 2s as well from the fog. Skillspecs should take this one home. I'm sure a lot of fans in the chat back home watching one of their favorite content creators win it.
Oh, the heart praise up. Oh,
yeah,
he's completely out of restores anyways. It's not a problem. Good fight. Skillspecs has gone through. I am so glad to see that.
Space Needle, that guy was, I think, one of Execution's leaders, I believe, so respect to him, and Skillspecs also representing GG, he was geared up by them. We currently have Eomeri Fools, who I assume is actually Eomeri himself, based on the gear that we see right now. He's got the ACB, the Armadillo chest plate as well, and he hasn't actually got the Armadillo plate legs yet. I believe last time I must have got them from someone else. Also utilizing that Vengeance, of course, the range tank build, not having a magic switch, but being on the Vengeance, the Lunar Spellbook, means that a portion of damage dealt to him every 30 seconds is going to be hit back to his opponent. Now, Stinky Saeed, as well, doesn't have Vengeance. He's also a ranged tank, but as you can see, the difference in supplies right now, just ranging the whole time, not having a switch whatsoever. It looks like Eomeri Fools should be able to take this one through.
He's literally just whacking him with a VLS. Look how big his lead is right now. 2 sips of brew versus like...
The 29 through prayer as well. It's
6
so accurate.
full brews. That is actually insane. Level 122 combat versus level 98, though. There's no surprise there. But this is the kind of tank fight I don't mind watching. Do you know why?
Why?
He's not fighting a hybrid. That's okay. That's fine. If they want to just whack each other with VLSs, that's not a problem.
Versus range tank, yeah, absolutely. And Eomeri Fools, the previous winner, first place last time around, winning $20,000, has gone through his first round. Now making it to the top 1 to 8. That was interesting.
Really interesting fights there. I mean, the skill specs one. Let's talk about that.
Oh my god.
That was something. How would you describe it?
Painful, like in every way imaginable. Oh my god! Honestly, if he died there and he lost that, he'd never live that down.
No, his Twitch chat would be smoking constantly.
He had a really strong setup, and how would you have done better?
I think it's fair to say that Alfie's more than likely going to be taking this one, and there is a very big difference: 20 combat levels between Alfie and Fools right now. The cheeky Morgan's throwing axe, the VLS spec. Alfie is doing oh my god. Yeah, Alfie's got this. Holy. Okay, yeah, I think this is fair to say this is in Alfie's corner right now. Like I said, guys, these people haven't been sweating for the past 7 days. Let's bear in mind that every single tournament that's taken part before this one, every single person that's taken part, they have played 7 days, probably playing anywhere from 12 to 16 hours a day, and none of these guys have had to done that. They've come in this fresh, they've come into the tournament, they've probably been practicing in PvP worlds or in the wilderness for the last couple of days, and you can see it right now. Like, I can see a huge difference. Like, Full Zupa probably wants to try and get himself a freeze on Alfie if he wants to stand a chance, but he is completely out of food. I think it's fair to say that this one does go to Alfie. And there you go. What is this? Oh, we got Fools versus Skill Specs. How is it looking? Oh, Skill Specs is actually winning quite considerably. He's not doing too bad. Okay. Well, I mean, he does have let's have a look. What's this? Oh my, yeah, there's quite a combat difference. Skill Specs being a level 117, Fools being level 95, the Crystal Shield, Rune Helm, No Boot, Power Amulet, Warrior. What on earth? The 63 AGS spec coming in from my boy Skill Specs. And the 0 Bolt. He has definitely got this one. There's 1 Shark remaining versus probably 8+ and a sip of Sour Omen Brew. I think, yeah, it's pretty comfortable to say that it looks like Skill Specs has this one. Give him a slap. There you go. 26 through the prayer. Good fight.
So the beans may have gotten to Ian. He has had to run to go and pee.
Is that what it was? I thought, okay, yeah, okay. I
But
thought he was
that's
pointing
okay.
at me. I was like, what on earth am I
That's
doing?
okay. He managed to witness the first fight, which was pretty much a blink and you miss it. What was that? What was that? Hope you're excited because we're about to go into round 3.
Right, let's jump into this. We have
Oh,
Skill
here we
Specs
go.
once again versus Goofy Gang himself. This is what we think it's Manked, and Manked is looking really scary right now. And I feel for Skill Specs, but the AGS, the misclick. No, that could have been it off prayer as well. 39
That was
still.
good. That was a decent spec.
That would have been like a 70 off press. That would have been a massive advantage. But despite that, he got 33 barrage as well, and another 20 on the right prayer. Skill Specs getting the edge right now against Manked, who is finding it really difficult actually to stay in this fight. But it's not over until it's over. All it's going to take now is for Manked to regain consciousness, you know, catch a few freezes, and start to levy the fight in his favour. Of course, the game of tribriding is very much to do with the 55 VLS.
Man, you got to admire. Look, Goofy Gang. Look at Manked's inventory. He has 5 recoil rings. Like he's fairy craft. He knows exactly what the best thing. He knows that taking those rings over food is going to be worth it in the long run.
Yeah.
Like this man is like. He's an absolute beast.
Yeah, well, the thing is with the inventories, if you don't have space to hold the sharks the same inventory as everyone else, then it drops to the floor and your opponent can't see it. So Manked, realizing that, has decided to have a bunch of recoils for every single fight, so he always has the recoil to aid him. And you know, those recoils give you 40 damage per ring, which is basically 2 sharks. So it's a huge advantage. And right now, again, just Goofy Gang, Mr. Manked is just, you know, tearing the floor with skill specs. Although saying that, Jay still has a chance. He's still got that AGS spec soon coming up. 70% spec, he has got an AGS spec ready. And Manked doing the little staff bash. Skill specs catching the freeze, and he's not giving up that easily,
There is definitely winning here for skill specs, 100%. All he needs to get is a nice barrage combo into an AGS. This could be over. That's the thing. Manked's more used to like the outlast in fights, from what you can see. Like I'd say Manked pretty confidently can like outlast most, if not all, PKers. And it's like he won't be expecting to get AGS to 70, although he probably is aware at this point he has the AGS, so he will be keeping his HP relatively high. Like, skill specs could still win this, but when you look at the gear difference, there's clearly a big gear advantage to Goofy Gang Manked. He's got the VLS, he has the Berserker ring imbued, he has the full tank setup, the Dragon Hunter crossbow. I have no idea what boots he's wearing, but they look cool as hell.
I think they're the boots from the Konar new update thing. I don't know exactly what they're called, but they give you pretty good stats for defense for tribriding with. And skills like the AGS, 58 was that on the right prayer. And Manked now having to retaliate with another VLS spec, but skill specs gets his prayer up just in time, and he's doing a fantastic job of staying in this right up until the end.
Oh, he got frozen there. That's very, very unfortunate. It looks like Skill Specs only has himself 4 edibles left, 3 sharks, 1 Karambwan. But he still does have the soul rings. He has Blood Barrage. He should probably try and take advantage of freezing Manked, standing underneath and getting as many Blood Barrages off as possible at this point.
I mean, I want to say this again. Skill Specs is from Australia at the moment, so his ping and that delay is really making me quite proud of him, the fact that he's stayed in this fight for so long and is fighting Mr. Goofy Gang so well. But now Manked has around 5 sharks left. Skill Specs is out of supplies apart from 1 Karamwan, and it's going to take a pretty big miracle for him to actually secure this win. Of course, like I said before, Manked having the Crystal Shield is huge defense bonus. The boots as well, much better than the Mystic boots. He also has, obviously, let's have the VLS, the Dragon Crossbow with better bolts, and
unlucky Skill Specs.
That's very unfortunate, but Manked giving the respect, GF brother. He caught the freeze at the end too, was in it right up until the end. So him against Manked would be a great fight to see, both being in tribal gear right now. Yeah, that was a great matchup. I look forward to seeing who wins the next one.
So which was your favourite fight out of those ones? Which was the standout?
For me, it'd have to be the last one. That was so close.
My favourite fight was definitely the Skill Specs versus Manked. Two of my favourite content creators going at it. Everyone likes that, you know, the whole the giant versus the guy who's comes out of the mist. So that was definitely a fight to watch. Kudos to Skill Specs for putting up a good fight, nonetheless.
Absolutely. It's really interesting as well when you have someone along the lines of Manked who's won so many things before, and we have what I like to call the God view, where you can see their invent, you can see their prayer, their spec, everything. It's really interesting to see behind the scenes and how they're playing, because I personally love that. I think it's so interesting.
Yep.
It is very good. And also, you know, take some tips. It's great for the next Deadman. But we're about to go into round 4, so let's see what's up next.
Oh, solo mission, the IRL Necreal. What an absolute beast. He's up against Luno. Oh my, solo mission has some very good gear, but he's gone with the rag tank setup, man.
You're not a fan, are you?
No, I'm not a fan.
You might not be a fan, but the 47 being hit back with vengeance definitely gives him a slight advantage.
Yeah, I've got this, guys. I definitely got this. Don't hit him, Abzallah. That's the end of the Tanya. Oh man, that's what I've been waiting for, the rerun.
Good fight. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh god, I have no idea. Lim. Let's call it Lim. Wiggler versus Lim. And it looks like we've got a Tyrus Ham bone crossbow warrior, and he's about to get 2 hit. Oh my, okay. Yeah, that's a GG. Good job. Good job.
Oh my god.
RNG game indeed.
What?
That is a free win if
That
I've
guy
ever
don't
seen
even
one.
eat any food
Dude,
either.
he just got the freest freebie ever. Oh my goodness. Apache.
Okay.
And they both have hybrid tribrid setups. Oof. The Armadillo chain skirt versus the Armadillo chest plate.
This is a really interesting fight because these guys do not like each other, from what I remember. I used to play Deadman a while ago. So, yeah, legit, this is an interesting fight. This is all to play
Oh, the
for.
smite. This guy is confident, man.
Yeah, I'm
He's
telling
out
you.
for blood right now.
I know, yeah. So Apache Mike, as he's known as, from my knowledge at least, I hope I'm saying this right, he's been around for many years in Deadman mode. He used
Oh, he could have
great
died
thank you.
there.
He's actually been part of Blazers before, years ago, until he was kicked from the team, which Reese is still in. So
Why was he kicked?
let's not get into that for him. But Reese right now, you know, he's got everything to play for, trying to, you know, represent his team right now. And Mike Apache really wants to show to them, like, it was a mistake you guys kicking me, you know. Now look at me, I'm taking the win for my other team that I'm with. I'm not too sure who he's with, but I'm sure we'll get confirmation sometime soon. He's picking up his sharks, but right now,
Something
gear
interesting,
advantage-wise-
Alpha Apache actually has... Yeah. He's got so many legs on him. He's got the Armadillo chain skirt, and he has the Torag legs.
Yeah, so
He's got a lot of loot on him. That's kind of questionable right there.
Yeah.
And he's dead.
What a
Unfortunate,
KO!
man. Blazers
CVA,
rise.
he says. What do you mean CVA? You should have got
Wow.
your player on right, or 8 and higher. Reese taking him down. That was a huge KO, and he picks up the Armadillo chain skirt as well, which gives him full armor till.
Oh my, yeah, I think that Rise right there, he has a very solid chance of potentially taking this home right now. But right now we're against Wiggler versus Seni.
Wiggler might even be Wiggle. I'm not too sure. He's got the WB,
Yeah.
which stands for Blazers, in his name, which I expect is because he's representing Blazers. And Seni, absolute range tank, demonizing him right now. Look at this. He's got the VLS. He's got the Armadillo chain, plate body. He's also got the DFS2. If Wiggler can beat him, he gets a decent upgrade again, saying the Armadillo has a huge mage defense, but it's going to be very hard to beat this guy, especially with his vengeance as well, slowly dwindling Wiggler's HP down.
Again, Seni has a Varak plate skirt, a Carol skirt, and some Torag legs in the inventory. What's going on here? I mean, do you think potentially it's in case they go against somebody that's in their clan and they're trying to like give them gear?
It's literally because depending on what your opponent is using, you've got to try and guess what attack style it is. If they're using magic, you want to have that, you know, mage defense high, which is why he's got the Carol skirt. If
No,
they're
he's
using
got
range-
3 legs. He's got the Carols, the Varak, and the Torag legs.
The Torag legs probably have a tiny bit higher range defense, maybe.
But do you really think that's worth taking over like an extra shot?
I mean, I'm not good enough personally to do it, but I mean, Seni's on another level right now. It's just, you know, gliding around this ice rink at the moment and trying to do as much damage as he possibly can. But Wiggler needs to catch this freeze. Is he able to on the Armadillo chest plate? It's very difficult right now for him, but secures the freeze. He's probably going to step under potentially, but I mean, when he catches that freeze, the problem with Seni at the moment is he only has range that he can use while he is frozen. So Wiggler can just, you know, focus on his switches, trying to fake you out, and, you know, just saying that, hits a 34 of the VLS off prey.
But then again, he does have the Armadillo crossbow, which is, you know, the best in this fight right now. Like, that is pretty much the best in slot that he could have, aside from the Morrigan Javelins, of course, which we haven't seen much of, unfortunately. But it looks right now like it could be either of these guys' game.
Well, right now, Wiggler down with free food left versus Seni's free food has a slight advantage. He also has a couple of recoils. So, I mean, my money would be right now on Wiggler because he's made it this far. He's got this opponent frozen and he's just, you know, going around in circles, doing great damage. 31 through the prayer. That's huge as well. Seni does not have any spec left. He's still got the vengeance, but will it be enough?
I think it will be. Like I said, Seni has a Varrock plate skirt and Torag legs. I don't mean to like keep going on about it, but it's bugging the hell out of me. What were you thinking, dude? But yeah, I'm very glad to see that Wiggler's working him right now. It looks like he might. Oh, maybe not. Maybe I spoke too soon. DD underneath. He's also got Dragon Gloves. This guy was on the solo mission grind as well. Look at that.
Oh, the 45, that's probably secured the win for Wiggler. And another one, 0, unfortunately, but 67 HP lead versus 18. That is a huge advantage right now. Although saying that, all it takes is for Seni to get that spec. He's got 25% spec. Can he utilize it? Can he get that VLS spec to hit a 50 and come back into this fight? The Vengeance hitting just enough to not kill him. Seni's going for the VLS right now, trying to fake it out, get some hits off prayer, but only a 2. Wiggler just catches one last freeze, and Seni is out of the game. But he does have the redemption prayer, trying to flick it up. Can he catch off that redemption, that clutch? Here, if Wiggler hits a 0, that is a 52 to secure the win for him.
Wiggler.
Wow.
Oh my.
That's what we like to see, you know, the
I like to see the hybrid, the Tribid has to win over the range tank every single time.
Our next fight we have Matt against CRA, I think. Again, we got a bunch of skilled Tribers in this tournament. Not many range tanks left, which is something we've not seen in a Deadman mode for quite some time now.
And as these fights have gone on, you can clearly see that the upgrading gear, pretty much everybody at this point has the max best in slot. We're talking VLS's, Armadillo crossbows.
He's even brought the tome in. It only gives like a +8 mage or something like that, but every little helps in ensuring you catch those freezes and get that advantage by DDing under your opponent. Both players right now trying to fake each other out, making sure they're switching again to their tank setups. They minimize any damage taken. The spec on the right there, the 42. That is huge for Matt. Can Emoji get one back? A 33 prepare as well. Doing a fantastic job, but the next freeze is going to be absolutely crucial here, isn't it, Tom?
It is indeed. And it seems like Math doesn't actually have Blood Barrage by the looks of it. He only has Ice Barrage, which is kind of questionable. Do you think that he might have forgotten to take Soul Runes into this fight?
I mean, it all comes down to your ability to click the spells, and a lot of it comes down to muscle memory. A lot of these players don't really utilize Blood Barrage, but there you see from CRA getting a 32 Blood Barrage, a percentage of that damage is actually healing him as well, which is giving him the edge he might need. And when it comes down to, you know, a Shark's difference or a couple of HP difference right at the end of these fights, those Blood Barrages really do make the difference.
Hey, it's a tongue twister, man. But yeah, this is looking pretty close. I think that Crab, it looks like Crab has a bit of a clear lead right now. He's only actually eating free food.
Oh, it's Crab. I was saying CRA. Crab emoji.
The Crab emoji,
oh,
man.
Of course, man. I got the Twitch chat. See you later. Right, looking at inventory supplies right now, both players looking pretty even, I'm not going to lie. 95% spec for Math and only... Oh, exchanging a few specs there, not hitting too much, and now Crab is out of specs.
Oh, 43 on the right prayer.
That's all it takes,
wrong prayer.
Those 40s or those 50s, and that's suddenly 2-3 sharks down, and it's pretty hard to come back from that.
The VLS is a savage spec weapon. I mean, it's a little needle, man, and it really gets into your opponent for sure. It's something that you don't want to be on the wrong end of.
No, even without the spec, man, it can still, you know, it's got the accuracy of like an AGS. It's a little bit faster, not quite as strong, but you can still, you know, whack a few 40s here and there, which makes it absolutely adamant that, you know, you keep your distance against your opponent, keep him frozen at all times. And spec coming in here, just a hit rather. 9, not too bad.
And also on top of that, the VLS can also hit like consistent 50s. Obviously, it's not the most accurate thing in the world, but it can still do it. It's definitely more ideal than taking, say, a God Sword, for example. It definitely has more uses. As you can see, I don't think we've even seen a single whip in this tournament so far.
No, because VLS and Stat Hammer are probably better. Because if you are able to, you know, DD on your opponent, it doesn't matter how fast or slow your weapon is. If you're hitting hit for hit,
the 41.
It's just so back and forward right now. Math, you know, taking the lead, then Crab getting a few specs in here. But Math now has 40% spec. He's got almost 2 VLS specs to come back into this fight.
The Armadillo chest plate, I feel like it's doing a fair bit. He just got VLS'd on the wrong prayer there. That's very unfortunate. But, I mean, there's very little difference in this.
He still has food left.
Oh!
Why was he sat so low? And that is a GG member, the Solo Alliance. We've not seen them actually get this far in a while, making Skill Specs proud as well, who's also part of their team. I'm not too sure why that guy didn't eat there. He was sat on, 30 hit points.
He had free food left.
I know, that was quite a big mistake, costing him, thousands of dollars, to be honest.
I mean, he might just be too busy listening to us criticize him. Maybe we distracted him, dude.
Oh, man.
Poor guy.
We're here to see Luno once again, the Inya himself, one of the most notorious fighters in the game, like I said, mentioned earlier, and he's against Mr. Z. Both players being, of course...
Gain the advantage by being able to see what his opponent's going to be doing next.
Yeah.
Like, he's not always consistently attacking just because he's constantly reading his opponent and he's adapting to their style of hybrid.
Yeah, catching your opponent, obviously, on the right prayer, or their wrong prayer, sorry, is really crucial in these fights. And Z actually managing to stay alive for so long. And it looks like Luna's actually just taking his time, waiting for that VLS spec. He realizes how important it's going to be when he gets it, but he should win this. He's got free food left, huge advantage here. Unfortunately, Z's spec hits a 0 and retaliates with a 46. Inya going through for frontline.
A very well-deserved win for Luna there.
Absolutely, that was a really neck-and-neck fight. And
that was impressive.
Now we're into the top 4, aren't we?
We are indeed. So that was the quarterfinals, meaning that anyone that took part in that is going to...
He's absolutely slaughtering him right now. Dude. I feel bad for him. Like, he genuinely has just got destroyed.
Another one!
Fight.
Another one!
For the KO.
I mean, to be
Blazer
fair,
Rise, what an absolute lucky...
Yeah, I mean, Reese is going through now. He's through to the finals. He's secured himself at least $10,000 for Blazers. Quite unfortunate for Blazers having two members against each other right there, but they can't be upset about that one. They've secured themselves at least 10K, and now the next fight is
on
or something. Luno still has one spec left. Is he going to use it here? On catching Emoji here, but at the same time, he's got one little prayer potion left, one dose left, catching the redemption, but now he's got no prayer left if he uses another redemption. He's got to be careful here. He's on 27 hit points. The whack could kill him.
Crab has a VLS spec. He does have a VLS spec, and it hits a 19 on the wrong prayer.
I mean, he had to just go for it at that point and hope that Luno changes prayers, but Luno's now on 90 hit points with the brew. Emoji is on 15. He's one hit away from losing, a difference between $1,000 and $10,000 to $20,000. But it could still happen, man. I've seen it happen before, although saying that, Luno has a spec with a VLS, and it's probably going to finish him off.
Oh, never mind.
The Bolt does.
Takes him out with a 39 bolt.
Hey, respect from GG, he says, as he falls, though. Huge respect there. And now we have Inya representing Lit and Frontline going through to the finals to fight out Reese, one of the Blazers members. Wow, absolute scenes. That was fantastic to see.
Was that a fair fight?
In the future for upcoming.
I mean, at this point, this is the final. These guys are both clearly very, very good hybrids. Reese, I'm saying his name right, he hasn't even eaten a food. Look at that.
Wait, what?
He's not eating a food.
No, he probably has, I think. Wait, has he?
No, he's not. He's got a full inventory of food.
But has he picked them up off the floor, or is he actually not eating any food and just used blood barrage just to heal himself back up again? If he has, then I think this one's in the bag for him, because looking at Luno right now, he only has 4 food remaining compared to Reese's at least double supplies. But Luno trying to go for VLS and Reese very smartly going out.
Step.
Yeah, the diagonal step so that Luno could not melee, and he was not anticipating that. Again, stepping out just enough so Luno cannot go for the VLS spec. And Reese, 49 on the right spec. This is what it's all about, man. Like I was saying earlier, the momentum, once you start to get that advantage, start hitting hits off on the right prayer, it can be very hard to, remain composed. And with $10,000 difference on the line.
Free food, this is actually insane.
Managed to catch a freeze, though. And, I mean, he's not out just yet. That should have been dead for him. I mean, he's out. He's on 14 hit points. Let's be real now.
All Reese had to do there was just sit at max HP. Congratulations, Reese.
For Blazers, man. Taking home $20,000 with $10,000 from the last one as well. Blazers must be a very happy squad right now, celebrating in the team speak, I'm sure. Although saying that, Luno taking home $10,000, maybe splitting with Lit and maybe with Frontline. I'm not too sure exactly. And that was Bellis, actually, that was on Blazers Reese. I thought it was going to be Reese. Did he just say Bellis in game?
Yeah, he did. He said Bellis.
He just tagged his Twitter name. Oh, wow.
Incredible. That was a final. That was so impressive.
That was,
I was expecting Luno to go further, honestly. Considering his performance up to this point, I mean, I'm shocked. I mean, you must be devastated.
Yeah. I'm just like, what just happened? He was doing really well. And I don't feel like he necessarily played that poorly or anything like that. Like, God, that happens.
Winner taking home $20,000.
Next one in 2 weeks' time. They're going to put it on hiatus, invest a lot of development time, I believe, and just completely restructure the entire game mode to make it fresh, unique, and most importantly, enjoyable again for all the players that have played it for numerous years now. I don't know what crazy strategies we're going to see next time round, but they never cease to amaze me what the players and the clans come up with.
Well,
It is incredibly interesting.
Hopefully, when it comes back, like, it will be unpredictable. I feel like, you know, we've had almost the same thing from Deadman mode now for quite a while. Not a lot has changed. It's become a little bit predictable. It's like I was saying to you before we were doing this. It's like, you know, when you do Deadman mode tournament, it's more or less like 7 days of there's like an unwritten, unsaid treaty between like most people, which is like, I will not mess with you if you don't mess with me, kind of thing. And then it's like when it comes down to the final hour and you can attack people in the Grand Exchange or whatever,
all that clanman mode, all those alliances go down the drain.
People should just be slaughtering each other, but instead of that, people just clumping together and going towards, you know,
and trying to
GDs
stay alive
towards Falador.
as long as they can.
Predictable.
Yeah,
you know, something needs to change.
This is why they're taking it out, and hopefully, fingers crossed, the next iterations to come are going to be awesome.
Yeah, we'll see some updates. It'll be very exciting. Well, I have a little bit of an update. So both finalists have been checked by anti-cheating accounts, and the accounts are completely clean. So Blazer Reese, he will be the confirmed winner, taking home $20,000. And of course, Luno taking home that $10,000. Sorry, $10,000 himself. So it's very impressive. So it's congratulations to both of them. And of course, like I said before, the Summer Deadman final will be on Saturday, the 29th of June. So if you are in the Invitational, then make sure you do play. It's going to be great. And the Tournament Worlds are going to be getting reopened as well so that people can practice, which I personally love. Tournament Worlds are freaking great. So thank you very much for watching this tournament. It's been phenomenal. And appreciate Jagex for popping it on. It's been fantastic. And having me here as well.
Everyone in the Twitch chat for coming out, supporting, chucking all your crab emojis or whatever you've been spamming in the Twitch chat today. No crab emojis, hopefully.
We've not seen the chat at all.
No, we haven't.
We block the chat.
We asked not to see it because we were too nervous. Also to the guys in the office, of course, as well. Rock, Bruno, we have Shed, we have Sven, I was really Stephen, but you told me to call you Sven, and JD on social as well, and I think some guys upstairs, Ed, I believe, is here as well, so shout out to all those guys for making this possible. Usually gets held at ESL, first time in a while we've been at Jagex again, and it's been a really smooth tournament, I think, so thank you everyone.
It's been phenomenal.
For joining us again.
It's been absolutely grand, and it's been lovely to have us here. Any last words, Rexy?
Thanks for having me. I hope that you guys enjoyed, and I hope I didn't make too much of a tit of myself. I hope it went well.
You did a great job for your first time.
Awesome.
Well, we'll see you guys in the Summer Deadman final. But from all of us, thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.